Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I'm going over my Week 12 NFL predictions. Usually for the video thumbnail, I do the best matchup of the week, but the Cowboys and Bills aren't playing each other. But I still think that these are two great pictures: Dak being thrown into the pot and Josh Allen eating a turkey leg. So yeah, I love this picture. It's such a good picture. Anyways, these are my Week 12 predictions. Let's get into it. We're starting off with Thanksgiving. We have Bears-Lions. That's going to be a war of attrition. Cowboys-Raiders and Bills-Saints. I have the Bears beating the Lions 17-13. That's probably going to be the most boring game of the day. Although last year I said the same thing with the Lions game and ended up being somewhat interesting. So, we'll see. I think that because it's like two teams with similar caliber teams, it could be a little bit more interesting, but still nowhere near as interesting as the other two. Cowboys-Raiders, we're looking at two teams that were doing really well and then have had a bad past couple of weeks. The Raiders have been more consistently bad because Dallas did play one good game, but I have the Cowboys winning 34-20. The Raiders are looking terrible. They've dropped down to 20 in the power rankings. They're probably going to drop down to 25 next week, depending on how badly they play this week and how decently the other teams play. Bills-Saints, we have the Bills beating the Saints 37-24. Yeah. The Saints are another team that have been just trending downward. The Bills also have been... This is a really major Thanksgiving for all four of these teams for the playoffs. Because you have the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Bills, and the Saints. All four of these teams have had a bad go at it the past few weeks. None of them have been playing good football. And so this is two matchups between two teams that aren't playing well right now. This is a way for either the Cowboys, the Bills, Raiders, or Saints to get their season back on track to get a win. And I think that the Cowboys and the Bills are the more consistent teams and more likely to get back on track this week. I think the Raiders and Saints could potentially lose their fourth game in a row. 1 o'clock games, we have the Steelers, Bengals, Eagles, Giants, Texans, Jets, Dolphins, Panthers, Colts, Bucks, Falcons, Jaguars, and Patriots, Titans. I have the Steelers beating the Bengals 34-27. The Steelers, although they lost last week, played a very strong game against the Chargers. They almost came back and won. And the Bengals have been so up and down that because they won this week, I expect them to lose their next game. So I think that the Steelers are going to want to win this divisional matchup. They're going to want to try and get a little closer to the Ravens, especially with how they've been playing recently. Dolphins, Panthers have the Dolphins winning 24-17. The Dolphins are on a 3-game winning streak. I think that they can have a 4-game winning streak. I think they can improve to 5-7. They're fighting for that playoff spot. Tua doesn't want to be cut next year, so... they haven't had a very hard schedule the past few weeks, but I thought that Cam Newton was going to come back and play really well against Washington, and he didn't play badly. He didn't. But the Dolphins are on a winning streak, and the Panthers just lost to Washington, so I'm going to have to go with the Dolphins, momentum-wise. Colts, Bucks, I have the Colts winning 30-27. Yeah, I have the Colts beating the Buccaneers. I haven't seen tonight's game yet, but Tampa has not looked good. If Antonio Brown plays, then I'll probably have the Bucs winning because the Bucs have an almost perfect record with Antonio Brown and Tom Brady on the field. So if Antonio Brown plays in the Colts game, then I'll probably have the Buccaneers winning. But for right now, I have the Colts winning. The Colts are playing better football the past few weeks. They've been more consistent for the season as a whole, and I just think that they have a pretty solid chance of winning this game. Eagles, Giants, have the Eagles winning 37-28. The Eagles are just playing better football. They're playing more consistent football. Jalen Hurts is going off. And as Bill Belichick always says, football starts in November. So the Eagles, the Dolphins, the Colts, the Patriots, they're all playing November football when they need to play it. And I think that the Eagles are going to come away with a big win in this divisional matchup. Texans, Jets, have the Texans winning 20-13. And for Falcons, Jaguars, I have the Falcons beating the Jaguars 17-14. Not much to be said there. The Falcons are slightly better than the Jags. That's going to be a low-scoring game. And the Texans, with Tyrod Taylor back, the Texans are a more consistent team than the Jets, so I'm going to have the Texans winning that one. Patriots-Titans, I have the Patriots winning 27-21. I'm trying to be as honest as I can about this game. I'm going to be at this game, actually, so I'm super excited for it. I'm probably going to do a game recap when I get back or when I get to my dorm before the power rankings, but I'm thrilled about this game. I think it's going to be a fantastic defensive game. The Titans' defense is looking very strong. The Patriots' defense has let up 13 points in the last 3 weeks and scored 14 themselves. So I think that there's going to be a lot of turnovers. I think that it's going to be a big momentum swing, and I think that Bill Belichick's coaching, and I think that the fact that Tennessee lost last week and is now currently bleeding, there's blood in the water, we're going to have a chance to overtake the number 2 seed in the AFC, potentially number 1 seed if the Ravens lose, and because of that, I don't see Belichick losing this game. 4 o'clock games, we have Chargers-Broncos, Vikings-Niners, and Packers-Rams. For Chargers-Broncos, I have a 27-17 finish. I think that the Chargers are playing really strong football right now, and the Broncos are beating the Broncos. The past 2 seasons, they've gone 7-9, 6-10, very consistently, so I think they'll probably end up around there once again. The Chargers are coming off of a win against the Steelers, and if they win this week, they'll improve to 7-4. They'll be really banging on the door of Kansas City, considering they'll have the same record as them, as Kansas City does their bye week, and I think that it'll be a pretty solid game, but the Chargers should win. Vikings-Niners, as the Vikings winning 37-31. Both of these teams are playing very well recently. They both have improved from 3-5 to 5-5. But the Vikings, I think, have arguably been playing better for the whole season as a whole. They've had a tougher schedule. They've done very well with it. And I think that they should come out with a victory, 37-31. Packers-Rams, I have the Packers winning 34-23. The Rams just haven't been playing well. The Packers have been very consistent. I think the Packers are going to improve to 9-3, and the Rams will drop to 7-4 on the season. So yeah, there's not much to be said there. The Packers are just playing better football right now. Sunday Night Football, we have Ravens-Browns. I have the Ravens winning 27-23. It's a divisional matchup. The Browns are going to play them very tough, but the Browns just haven't been able to beat them. Even though the Browns have been playing very good football, they've had tough journeys to finally beating Baltimore and the Steelers. They beat the Steelers in the AFC Championship in the divisional round last year, or wild card. Well, they beat them in the wild card. I'm sorry, but they just have had a tough go at it beating the Steelers or the Ravens as a whole, no matter how good their team is, and they're on a downward spiral right now. I think that 6-5 is generous for how they've been playing the past few weeks. They only beat Detroit by 3 points, so I don't see the Ravens losing this game. I think this is a game for the Ravens to right themselves. They've lost a couple games the last few weeks, including one to Miami, so I think this is a way for them to right themselves as the number 1 team in the AFC at 8-3. But if they do lose and the Patriots win, then the number 1 seed in the AFC is going to look pretty tight, with the Patriots and Titans at 8-4 and the Ravens at 7-4. Monday Night Football, we have the Seahawks versus the football team. Oh boy, Monday Night Football did it again. Usually it's Thursday Night Football, but this week Thursday is Thanksgiving, so they have some pretty decent games. But every once in a while there's a Monday Night Football game where you're like, oh boy, and this is one of them. I think this is going to be 24-20, but I don't think it's going to be an exciting 24-20. I think it's going to be like a non-defensive, non-offensive 24-20, like where they barely get into the end zone and it's just boring. This is the first season Russell Wilson has ever lost 3 games in a row. I do not expect him by any means to lose 4 in a row. He's never lost 3 games in a row. He's not going to lose 4. He's never been shut out before he got shut out. I think it's very possible Washington wins, considering Russell Wilson's having his worst season of his career. But because he's also one of the best quarterbacks of the past 20 years, I just can't see him losing to Washington. To be fair, when he came back from his injury, he had the Packers and the Cardinals the first 2 weeks, but Washington is Washington. You can't lose that game. So yeah, those are my predictions for Week 12 of the NFL season. Make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving. I'm very excited for Thanksgiving. It's, in my opinion, the most underrated holiday. You just go to a relative's house, you stuff yourself with turkey, and then you watch football for 9 hours. So, I love it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Is it overrated, underrated? I don't know. Any games that you think will be upsets? I have a few upsets. I have the Patriots beating the Titans. I'm not really sure who's projected to win there. I have the Dolphins beating the Panthers. I think that's a upset. I have a couple upsets in here, so curious to see what you guys think. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.